stick together, that's what I say.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Forever.
But I sort of gave up on that. I go to Japan purely for cultural reasons. Then I'm not so frustrated because it's much easier to engage at that kind of craft level than it is to engage at an industrial level, because at the craft level people are really open to showing you what they do. They're excited by people coming.
Yeah.
The trouble I found is that they're locked into a super traditional model, and that thing I did with the kimono was an image from this Hubble telescope made in a kimono textile, 3D. So
if you came up close, it was amazing.
it was amazing.
I have taken photos of it, and then together with your sort of computer-rendered chairs.
Yeah,
and
all that sort of stuff. So
yeah.
it creates a kind of dialogue between...
Did they understand the nebula idea?
I'm not completely sure. I mean, it broke something, but of course I had my own Lovegrove design prize for kimonos. So I gave the prize to a girl from Panama, that if you look at the kimono as a textile, as a piece of clothing, is almost square. So it's the piece of clothing that you can put art onto because it's like a painting. And she did something so beautiful. She took images of great-grandparents with all the lovely long beard, the sepia colors, and she put these images big onto the kimonos. So if you wear them, they have a sense of the age in which they were really worn.
History, yeah.
And you have the family there, so you can hang it on the wall and enjoy art as your family, but then wear it as something with heritage. I thought it was genius, and it's something that Japanese wouldn't come up with. And I kind of appreciate. I like the stability of places like Sweden. I think they're important in the world to have a kind of recycling of ideas. I think part of me wants that to continue, and part of me would love to see somebody like Malcolm McLaren and a punk group come on. I don't know, without
but
being...
But that happens here too.
I know it bursts sometimes. It's a little bit like Eurovision, but I think that shouldn't be a reaction. I think there can be a degree of anarchy in just reworking what you see. I think in the past, when designers were working with form up here, even if it was in wood, there was a degree of higher expression, because you can't have everything leveled by an IKEA model of lowest common denominator. You need, form is such a beautiful thing, and it takes time and energy and effort, as I'm saying, but once you have it, it's so durable, form. It's enduring because nobody would ever discard anything. That's why when you see Jacobsen sofas or Wehner or Fenul or these reach incredible prices at auctions, but they're actually things you can live with. So I went to a very interesting place in Portland, Oregon. I was doing some work with Nike, and I met this chap, Lysandre, who's like a fantastic mind, and I said, well, where do you go in Portland? Because it seems a little bit boring. He said, come with me, and he took me to this warehouse. And right on the top was this whole level full of incredible American and European classics. And the guy who ran the company does house clearance. So, of course, all those people who are in their mid-80s now, who are passing on, they live with Eames, Nelson, Saarinen, Laverne, the greats. And that's what they had. So the place was full of amazing classics. And then on top of that, you had the European ones. And they said, we think we've got something of yours here. And we took it out onto the terrace, and we did this shoot with a Castiglione light, a Magistrati chair, something from me, and we put it straight on Instagram to try and help this guy get a global reputation. I think there are these pockets of amazing places where I don't want to be talking about the past all the time, in retrospectively, but I think that, for example, I wanted to say to the man at IKEA, why can't, if you can sell shelving at £50, why can't you sell shelving at £100, which is not double the value, but maybe 4 times the value, because in industry you add £50, you can do amazing things. You can create form, you can create stability, you can create durability. So part of me supports that model, but part of me doesn't. I mean, I'm just about...
Well, I guess we all are very ambivalent with all things at the moment. I mean,
we are.
You described it as a sort of a twisted spiral.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand the value of things. And if I see an amazing Ducati motorbike for £15,000. I think it's cheap because I know how things are made. I think it's incredible how you can buy that object. But equally, I'm trying to buy a sofa at the moment, and it's £13,000. And I mean, that's just too much money for a sofa, isn't it? So it's like paying £1,000 for a pair of jeans. I mean, it's outrageous. So everything is moving up to a new position. And
Okay, one more comment about Swedish design. You have a Swedish design friend, architect, waiting for you here. So
Eero, yeah.
yeah, Eero Koivisto is standing here.
Yeah, what a man.
He wants to say goodbye and kiss you and all these things.
We got to give him a hug.
I was going to say, Maestro, I have to leave because I'm going to Vitra tomorrow morning. So
What a dream.
now I'm getting all shy. Everybody thinks I'm so extrovert. I'm not really. Well,
Did it mean something to you to win Ross Award?
it's for I mean, we got a lot of awards. I'm sorry to say it's a little bit inflated, but I'm very, very happy for each one. But for the first time in a very long time, I got really, 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 really happy about it, because I have enormous respect for Ross. I'm almost, getting tears in my eyes. Sorry, I'm extremely happy.
You know, Eero has stuck together. There's nothing that he does in his team. Love you.
You have to leave.
Maestro.
Maestro.
Yeah, well, same.
Maestro.
But we'll catch up.
Yeah.
I love you, man. I mean, you deserve it.
Take care. Ciao, guys.
Safe travels. I tell you, Eva, when I'm sort of slip away and I'm doing my own thing, maybe I forget, and then I come to an event like this, which is, it's a celebration of an incredible culture with an amazing history. Don't forget, and these are the elite, and I mean young and old, in these professions, and you see that they still think it's incredible to win a prize. And the thing is, we do all win prizes, but when somebody you respect says something very important about what you do, that's enough. I mean, you don't need monetary return, you don't need anything, you need a cultural return, and they deserve it. And it's, I could have voted for other things, absolutely, if I'd have wanted to sort of appeal to some other idea, but it really grabbed me, that project, and I think it could be social housing. I just sort of thought I made a bit of a mistake, but actually
okay.
I think it's a pretty good mistake, and he told me that Jasper Morrison called him and said, can I buy one of your houses? So here we got two leading designers, if you like, all wanting to buy one of your houses. And these things are only about £150,000. I mean, London, you can't buy a garage for that. So where this high idea of misappropriation of wealth, suddenly we end the day almost with Eero's work. That's not a misappropriation of wealth at all. It's quite the opposite. That's a very affordable, very relevant, unilateral, universal idea. It's not just a Swedish idea, that's a universal idea. And I told you I didn't vote for the shelter because the shelter for me, I don't want to promote permanence of that distress.
That was a good...
And it's a difficult one, I know. I'd love to work on things like that, by the way. I would. That's what I would love to work on, because I think there's other ways to do it, which understand. It's a bit like the Eames house. When the Eames house was delivered, they looked at the parts and they said, no, we'll make something different. I mean, wouldn't it be lovely if the parts that were delivered, that the local people had their own level of creativity, and that was promoted. So it wasn't...
Participatory design process.
Yes, and Kapoor just went to Syria and he was working with children, looking at how you create habitat in these very disrupted situations. And I just think that it can't be prescriptive. You can't say, oh, this is for you. And recently we were talking about the Red Auction in New York, which is set up by Bono of U2, which is a fine thing, in a sense. But, they raised about 12 million. Bono earns that probably every 2 months from his interest on his Apple shares. So why does he have to go through an auction situation to give that money? It's a little bit like when you walk down the street and there's somebody sleeping in a sleeping bag with cardboard over them, and you have to wake them up to give them the money, to tell them, look, it's my face, it's me that gave you the money. Why can't you just leave them some money?
Yeah, you want to be seen to do good.
Recognized for what you do. Yes, exactly. So, in the images that I showed tonight, on the left side with Elon Musk and Bill Gates. They can show their face because they know that they're a force for good in some sense. On the right-hand side, which is just money and luxury, it's irrelevant. You know, you can put everything you want in a plastic bag. We will reach this point in the future, I'm sure, where we will make that decision because I don't want to. I would be so embarrassed to drive around London in a Ferrari. I'd be redder than the Ferrari because I'm embarrassed by the idea, and I just think that there needs to be products which deliver ideas to people like me in that mood. That I don't need to advertise I'm a good person, but
I think it's happening.
it's slowly happening, and that's what I want to be involved in. And there's things I can talk to you about, not now, but later, where I've decided to reverse what I'm doing and find incredible funding, where I'm in control of what we go and do. I'm going to give it a go, and if it fails, fine. But instead of me being a service industry, I become a polarizer in the thing, and I can bring in people, and I'd love to bring in Klaus, David Carlson. I bring in people, and maybe I just need to participate. I'm doing it now.
Thank you for coming.
Us. No, it's
I
a
know
lovely thing.
you come directly from Asia. It was a big thing for you to come. I appreciate it very much. We are so happy for that.
I wouldn't
think
miss
we
it
have
for
to
the
run.
world. Yeah, okay, love you, Eva.
Thank you. I love you too.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful.